so exciting. What is today? It's Tuesday. I'm late. Shocker. I've got to give somebody their medicine. I'm hoping, Seton, tell me when you're on here so I can accept you. Oh, Murdoch podcast. Ooh, I didn't know you could join from that. That's exciting. Okay. Ooh, let's hope this works. This is a shock. It does. Oh gosh. Just found Amos's ice cream in the darn room.
Hey.
Oh, I'm so glad this worked. It's so great.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna get you on my stand here.
Okay. This is so quick. I thought it would take. I'm trying to give somebody their nightly medicine.
Oh, our technology skills have improved. Remember the first time we did this? It took me, I don't know, how long to try to join. I had to get help from my children.
You were struggling.
I struggled,
but
it's true.
It's really easy. I don't think it's always this easy. I think Facebook goes through phases.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's not all our fault. So, I mean, I just was like getting ready for tonight with you and so excited. I feel like I hadn't seen you in forever. And then I see that there's like brand new news about Alec Murdoch today.
I mean,
is that not new?
Well, I mean, there's more financial charges.
Oh.
I mean, that's what I've seen. I don't know. Maybe you've seen something I haven't. But what I've seen is just there's more tax charges. Because guess what? Surprise, surprise. He did not pay taxes on the money he stole.
Well, and so then, because I pay taxes, then I look at the amount that he owes, and I'm very confused. He stole $7 million and only owed $435,000. I thought you had to give the government. I give the government 30%.
Well, maybe he already paid some. I don't know. I haven't done. I'm not any sort of authority on this because I just saw the headline. I was like, blah blah blah. More financial charges. Yes.
Right.
At this point, there's over 100 charges pending. I'm like,
so why does it even matter?
Yeah.
And are they going to pursue all these charges even though he's sitting his fanny in jail?
Yeah, it appears so. They had a status conference last Friday to go over all these financial charges. There's a couple of other guys who are involved. We have Corey Fleming, his buddy, who he had the case with. He referred the Satterfield family over to them, and we all know, unless you're new to the case, millions of dollars stolen. So Corey Fleming had his status conference, as well as Eddie Smith wasn't there because apparently he's ill. He's now on dialysis.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but I have an inkling that he is going to get a plea deal because they said in the status conference that he was very cooperative. So I'm just thinking cooperative means maybe you get a plea deal.
Right.
Again, I don't know. That's just my guess. And Rivers and Roberts, two guys who were also involved with him. There were two guys from Walterboro who may or may not have been involved.
Wait, say that. Sorry. Let me.
Oh, sorry.
This is my culprit here.
Oh, that looks like a lot of medicine he has to take. I'm just saying.
It's not even enough. So his medicine gets compounded because he doesn't know how to take pills yet. So he's supposed to have 9 milliliters, but I only give him 4.
I don't even know how you can make that happen. And does it taste okay?
No, he does not like it. It's trazodone.
Oh.
It's bad times. That medicine is how you sleep. If you don't take trazodone, you go to bed about 9:30 and then you get up at 1 for the day.
Oh gosh. Mm-hmm. He needs to take that.
Yeah. I used to be that person who would be like, my children, I would never give them medicine. Now I'm like, I need more medicine.
I am one of those people who requires a lot of sleep, so I don't even know how you do it.
Well, hello. This is why we're friends. My perfect amount of sleep is, I don't know, like 10 hours a night.
Yeah, me too. I love to sleep 10 hours a night.
I get like 6.
Right. Yeah.
This is why I look old. I look old and haggard. As soon as I go away for like 2 days, I promise you I look 20 years younger. I'm like, I look good because I've slept.
Well, I don't know. I have an extreme amount of makeup on because of my skin cancer cream that I did. I told you, I was like, you have to give me fair warning because my face, yikes. Like, have you ever done that before?
Yes. So they're like, we're going to put this on your face and it's going to make your skin cancers come to the surface.
Yes. Yes.
Well, the next day I texted the dermatologist, Mary Helen Hutchinson, who I love, and was like, I have to keep my face in a cold bowl of water or it feels like it's on fire.
I'm on round 3. I have to do it yearly.
Once. I don't think I can do it again. It was so painful.
I'm telling you, I think my whole nose basically is a cancer at this point. It is not, dude, being not a fair complected in the beach, southern sunlight is not a friend. It's not good.
Southern sunlight. We're off topic, but we are talking about South Carolina and North Carolina.
Yeah, I know. We lost it for a moment.
My friend is not dark. She's in it. Are your walls black?
No, they're navy blue, but because it's dark out, they're navy. I know it looks very ominous in here, but it's not. It's not that ominous.
This is her Halloween themed room.
Yes, and I know, and it goes great with like a bright shirt.
So tell us a little bit of. We're not talking about skincare tonight, people. This is not what we're talking about. Tell us about what is coming on your podcast tomorrow. Give us a teaser.
Okay, so last week we talked with Jen Wood from Fitz News, and she did a FOIA request, which I sent you, for these communications with Alec Murdaugh, what has been sent to him. Mm-hmm. And she got it, and this is not the newest one.
And this is like in terms of mail, emails, what?
So my understanding is they're given a tablet, and it's you're able to get communications on there. You're not able to like search the web like normal people, but you get communications. And yeah, like it's not, I don't think it's an iPad. It's very locked down, but they do get a tablet.
Well, and this is not right.
Well, interestingly enough, this week, a couple of things. Jim Griffin gave 2 interviews, which is Alec Murdaugh's attorney. One interview, he describes that, he's in this lockdown unit with like 30 other prisoners, and they're like the worst offenders or people who have been receiving some sort of threats. And he wants out. He says he wants to take his chances on the jailhouse yard. He wants out of this protective unit, because I think the protective unit, a lot of these people are like really severe, like people who've done really bad sexual things and stuff. So he says he's got these like group of people that he hangs with, I guess, who aren't, the worst of the sexual offenders. I don't know. And they're allowed out of their little cell from 9 to 4 every day. And he spends his time like playing checkers and games. I'm like, this sounds like, honestly, like a vacation almost. But
this is like what I call my kids' summer vacation.
It doesn't sound so bad. But I mean, I don't know. I've never lived. I also did see in Georgia this week, I don't know if you saw it, there was a prisoner in Atlanta who was suffering from schizophrenia, and he died in his
head.
It was bad. And did you see the pictures of his cell? So, I mean, I don't want to make light. Like, looking at these cells, they're bad.
But he was Black, and we know that Black prisoners, I mean, people love to say I talk about race, but the only reason I talk about race is because I just talk about what is true. That wouldn't have happened to any Alec Murdaugh. He's not going to be killed by bed bugs.
The bed bugs thing, that got me. I was like, that was really, really rough.
He's a privileged prison.
Well, and I think there's a big thing with the people who are suffering from psychiatric disorders. They put him in lockdown, and there was another prisoner, I believe, at the prison that Alec Murdaugh was housed before he was convicted, this Alvin S. Glenn in Columbia. There's a prisoner there who got like eaten by rats, or I mean, I can't even. It was suffering from psychiatric disorder. I mean, there's a lot of prison reform. So I don't want to make light that maybe it's not. But I mean, he spends his time playing checkers. That sounds kind of not so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marcia just said, don't prisoners have chores? Well, yeah.
I mean, if you're in this lockdown unit, you might not. And that's what.
Trash. That's
if
what
you're in this lockdown unit, I think you basically stay. I don't know that you have chores because you're in a lockdown unit with 30 other prisoners who are deemed the highest security risk, whether it's because they're going to get out or someone's going to get them. I don't know. Again, Alec Murdoch is advocating to get out of this unit and go to the general population because he feels that he has skills that maybe can help the other population. I guess his previous, education as a lawyer.
he's probably going to steal from them.
I don't know. Maybe he can work something. But
all the Mentos, all the stuff from the canteen.
Well, there's a lot of these ladies in these prison calls who are also offering to send money to his canteen account. Yeah. Oh. So I don't think he's going to be struggling.
Can anybody give you money for your canteen account?
I don't really know 100% the answer to that, but these women have offered, and these messages go through the prison system. So they monitor and to make sure that they, you're not offering to break them out of jail or send them some drugs or whatever, those kind of things. And it was really interesting kind of going through these messages. But I want to say, so we did that kind of last week. We talked to Jen Wood, who did this request. But this week we had on an author who has done 2 books. Her first book was in 1990. And then she just released another book, a second book, on women who love men who kill. And it's a book, and she tells all these stories about women who fall for men who are incarcerated. And it's fascinating because, at first, I'm reading these messages, like, who are these cuckoo people who send messages? And then I kind of got a better understanding of why some of these women send messages to people in jail.
Well, I will say it's not a shock to me because I have spent, as my husband points out, a tremendous amount of time watching Dateline. And over the years, you see the people that, like, the Menendez brothers are married in jail, which, why we let people get married in prison?
It's the thing. And Ted Bundy got married. I mean,
Charles Manson had all these people that loved him. I mean, I think we could have like a whole podcast on.
I know. Maybe we should.
The prisoners get lunch, and then their kids that show up at school, and if they don't have money, they get nothing. I mean, what's wrong with this country?
Well, again, a common theme with these women are. Wait, hold on. I can't hear you.
I said I'm taking Tucker Carlson's place on Fox News. I don't know if you heard that.
I saw your thing and haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm really excited for you. I can't wait to watch.
I know, and you'll have to come on. It's going to be kind of a different type vibe and show. We're going to be dramatic, but rightfully so.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
But tell us what you heard from the author.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I heard from the author, and then if we want to go over some of the comments that the ladies made. Should we do the comments first and then? Okay.
Comment.
All right. So,
and you have to read them in voices because I'm real into voices.
I'm not the best reader, but I'll try. So we have Darla P.
Darla.
Darla. I'm not reading all of them. I'm just reading some things that I highlighted.
Darla.
She says that Darla P. said that you have a beautiful and very prominent family. She's upset because she thinks that it seemed to be confused because of the alleged financial. She uses the word alleged financial crimes, although he's already confessed to those. And then she was also upset because he was lying about the prosecutor lying to the grand jury about the shirt, which I think that is somewhat valid. But I think that, obviously he's already confessed to that. She believes he's innocent. So that's why she's writing. Then we have Lacey K. She has written multiple times. Lacey K. She says, sorry it happened to him. Okay, Dwayne, I'm going to out Dwayne, our producer. He's like, he thought Lacey was a sexy name. I was like, Dwayne, stop it. And he says, people still love your family and they feel sorry for them, especially Buster. She felt like it was one-sided. He can message her talk to her anytime. That's her first message. And she seemed very compassionate. But then she messages him again a few days later, and she's upset that Buster's being stalked. And then she messaged him a third time.
Does he respond to these messages?
No, his lawyer has said he's not, to his knowledge, he has not responded to any of these messages.
And how did
Lacey
get his number? Like, can we message him?
I don't know how you get them. There are websites. There are these websites, like, I think it's called, what is it? Findaprisoner.com, writeaprisoner.com. So if you are looking to write a prisoner, write it down. That's the most popular one. There's other ones. They actually, for a nominal fee, they can put their profile up there. Women can search them, and they can find a match, which was really it's odd because now with this technology, there are some people. What this author that we talked to, they've been through abuse, and it's a very safe space for a relationship for them because they don't have to live in their house. They're locked up. They can't really do it. They don't have to have sex with them. They can, and it's also, they can control the narrative. They can go and visit them when they want to, or not visit them if they want to. But then there's, what's that?
Yeah, it's sort of awesome. I'm like I think I might go to the dark side.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, should I write a prisoner? I'm actually intrigued.
This is
now.
like wonderful.
No, like it could be great.
Good, because you wouldn't be arguing over anything.
Well, and
funds.
Another thing that she said in the interview with her was, they have nothing to do but think about you and pay attention to you all. Like they're a captive audience. They have no, like, you're their whole world. You control whether they get some money in their commissary account. If you're going to go visit them, they have nothing to do but think about you all day long. So it's
somebody wrote captive audience.
What's that?
A captive audience. Oh, God. And you would probably get really good love letters.
Yeah, she actually described it as romance. And honestly, again, like we can joke about it, but a lot of these women seem like they're really lonely.
Well, there are people lonely there. I can attest to that. I mean, yeah. I have, a lot of followers, and I have a subscriber group, and I had no idea how many people wake up Christmas morning all by themselves and don't talk to another human the whole day. And, we think, oh, it happened during COVID, but there are millions and millions of people that are lonely, which really has made me think, well, the internet is great for that. I don't know if these women, maybe I would encourage Darla May to come over to my subscriber group instead of maybe writing Alex Murdoch.
Good. Lacey and Darla might want to join.
We're fun. We don't expect much.
We don't expect sex.
No sex.
No sex. But there was another group. There are also these people who are infamous. So there's other people who are like, they want to have this infamy of, these high profile. Some women are attracted to these high profile prisoners who've gotten a lot of media attention, and they're like, maybe I want to, hook up with that. Then that's going to be my 15 minutes of fame.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's
evil.
All right. So let's read some of these other ones. Like this one person. Okay. Some people, she's from North Carolina, and she's 20. Summer is from North Carolina, and she is 21 years old. And she said she's also an addict. And the same thing happened to her boyfriend on September 22nd, 2021. So I don't know what happened to her boyfriend at that point of time, but there are several other people who sympathize with him because of addiction problems.
Huh.
That was a thing. Then we have a bored 31-year-old. People are bored, lonely, some people are lonely, but Cheyenne D says, I'm a bored 31-year-old. And she offers, several other people offer to send pictures, of themselves so that they could put a name to a face.
Is Beth now?
Yes, I'll walk you upstairs. Keep telling us.
Amos, take your medicine.
He took his medicine. Now it's bedtime. See, it kicked
Yay.
on.
All right. Then there's this Lock-in. I think Lock-in. I'm not sure 100%. I read through it. If Lock-in was a male or a female, but Lock-in seemed to sympathize because Lock-in again sent several messages because Lock-in has spent some time in jail. He spent 6 months in the county jail, so maybe that he was sympathetic, but he thought he was a great dad who lived every day for his family. So people see different things. Another thing that the author said was a lot of people, for some reason, and I grew up Catholic, so don't say I'm Catholic bashing because I grew up Catholic. People who were raised Catholic are more prone to strike up these relationships for one reason or another.
Really? Why?
I don't know why. I don't know if it's the, because the death penalty, I'm not sure if some of these people have gotten the death penalty or that. I don't know why.
What the why?
That's
What
weird. I don't know what the what. Okay. Let's see. We have several people say, that they're not weirdos when they reach out. They want to make sure that people know that they're not weirdos. They've said it a couple of times. And like Rachel B had a friend who had spent many years in prison, which was why this person wanted to communicate. We've got Destiny. Destiny says,
I'm right here. You going to sleep?
She truly believes his innocence. You did not kill your family. And I give you all the love for not snitching. But then sometimes you got to do what you got to do for your freedom.
I'll get you some.
And she also has been sober for 4 years.
Wait,
so
snitching? Who did he not snitch on?
So what I think Destiny was saying is she doesn't believe that Alec Murdaugh committed the murders, but she believes that he knows what happened and that maybe she needs to. I'm taking creative license on what she's saying, but I think she's saying that she believes that he has some knowledge about what happened to Paul and Maggie, and she's giving him credit for not snitching. But
well, I just like to let me speak to Destiny. Destiny, if you're out there, I don't know if I would commend not snitching on who killed your family. Like, to me, that is not.
It's a little weird.
Destiny, that's not a quality.
A little weird. That is weird.
Now, if you don't snitch on like who put, in my class growing up, the person that put the apple pie in the large teacher's math classroom, don't snitch on that. That's fine. But not this case.
Yeah. No. Okay, then we need to get to Nicolette. Nicolette was the best. She was, so Jen Wood, who was the one who had the idea to do this FOIA request and get these records, she said Nicolette was her favorite. And I read through Nicolette. Her first message was, I think I love you. And then her next message was, I think about you all day, every day. Then her third message was, I swear on my life, on my soul, I'll never say a single word to anyone, important or not important. I genuinely care for you. Then we've got two more that she's smitten. She's got a thing for him. Then she says, and to clarify, I mean that I won't say anything if you decide to respond. Hope you're doing okay. Then she says, I'm pretty much super embarrassed that I said that, but whatever. It's too late now. Ha ha. Terrified for the day you actually see these messages. LOL.
I would be terrified for the day that my messages were being read by a podcaster on Tales of an Educated Debutante.
I know. We talked about that. We're like, because
Nicolette. There ain't a lot of Nicolettes out there. You're sort of calling yourself out.
I've tried to search for these ladies. I have not found them. But the thing is, I thought when the phone calls were released back, I don't know, back in January, whenever they were released, I was a little bit iffy on those because he wasn't convicted yet. But apparently, Chris Watts, he's the guy who killed his.
Oh yeah.
He gets all these love letters, and they've been made public. So I don't really think that maybe you're sending messages to a convicted killer. I'm not sure what sort of expectation of privacy you can expect. Also,
I wish we had these people's addresses so we could write letters back to them.
Well, they have. It says Nicolette K. So I've tried. Yeah, and some people say their state. Like Brittany B is in Florida, but Brittany's not that. Again, thank God I didn't write a message, because can you imagine if it said Seton?
I said that. Seton. I'd be like, she's done.
She's done. Everyone knows.
So here's what you need to write him a message, and we need to see if it comes up in the public record request.
I don't know if I want to get in that mess. Although Mike G, who is the producer from Netflix, did send a message. It was very professional. This is a producer from Netflix documentary that aired a couple of weeks ago, blah, blah, blah. Says about his audience. We did a documentary talks about his documentary, The Pharmacist. What does he say? Our first 3 episodes were viewed by 40 million households, and also 75 million hours watched in just 10 days. Those numbers will continue to rise. We believe we have the largest platform on TV. If you're willing to speak to us, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there's some people who are, and there are a few men who wrote offering. We've got Ruth G offering to put money in his commissary account. There are a few men who write them. Lacey was the one who wrote the most. She sent him a Maya Angelou quote. She said,
"Every by the cage bird sings."
Yeah, she said, "Every storm runs out of rain." She was feeling deep that day.
So, it's been my whole life to say that.
Hello. And there'll be more. So these records came from where he was where he was being held before he got his permanent assignment.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I talked to Jen Wood. She's planning to do more of these requests. We'll see if I don't know if we'll get to see if he responds or not. I would think so, because we have these communications. You would think we would receive it if there were communications. We also had his outgoing calls, which those were kind of interesting too. You have to call collect, but one was an inmate dialed a number not allowed. Then he had a call not accepted, and then he did have one completed call. And then he had a couple of number of call limit violation. So
what's that mean?
I guess he's only allowed a certain amount of calls, or maybe I don't really know. I need to do some research into this.
Call not accepted. Does he talk to Buster? Do we know that?
Not on this call record. We haven't seen that. When we interviewed Jim Griffin on our podcast, he said that the family had not seen Alec in person since his arrest, the Labor Day shooting arrest. And so when they saw him in court, that was the first time they saw him, because he said, it was just the environment at the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center wasn't really one to have, you got to view someone through a grainy screen. It was real weird. So I don't know if now, if maybe they're going to see. I don't know that information.
Wow. Well, somebody asked about Stephen Smith a minute ago, and what I read today, you probably already knew this, was that a rape kit had been done on Stephen Smith, but it had never been processed.
You know, that rape kit, and I don't know as much as about Stephen Smith as a lot of people do, but my understanding with the rape kit was there was so much confusion about this rape kit being lost, but the rape kit was never lost. And I did read those headlines the same as y'all read, but I don't know, the truth of it, because again, there's been so much confusion surrounding Stephen Smith, especially with the rape kit being lost, and now we know the rape kit was never lost. I don't know.
But I tell you, Seton, it's awfully strange that it has not been processed at this point.
Yeah, that's a red flag to me. If in fact it's true, I don't know. I just saw the headline. I assume it's true. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know why they wouldn't process it.
How do you find out if something like that is true?
I mean, you just have to reach out and hope that somebody responds.
Oh.
Or you have to wait for law enforcement, or you have to wait for the trial when you actually find the real information. Because that was something that was really interesting with the Murdaugh trial that I sat through, was there were so many things that were reported in the media that actually turned out not to be true.
Right.
So that was really interesting to me, that we saw so many things. I mean, we saw People magazine said Maggie was lured. That never came out in testimony. That we saw reports about, a forensic accountant and a divorce lawyer, never came out in testimony. So a lot of things, there's so many more examples of these things. Oh, the shirt. That shirt seemed like that came out, that there was, DNA evidence on the white t-shirt we saw. That wasn't true. So there's a lot of things that, the media reports, that myself included, you really kind of have to wait till the actual evidence comes out to sometimes see what is the actual real story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess that does always happen. It seems like it. Huh. What a strange, I mean, this has been a long process,
I can't even believe that it's almost 2 years since we started our podcast. Wow. It's so crazy. And now we're moving on. I hope that some people were listen to us. We've recorded one episode on Shanquella. I know you followed that, Casely, very closely. Mm-hmm. I hope that people will follow us over to a new one. We're going to continue to cover Murdaugh stuff, but also...
I haven't listened to your Shanquella one. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we were really fortunate. We were able to interview her dad. And, this all happened right when the Murdaugh stuff was really kicking up. So I really was not on it as much. I mean, I saw the headlines, but didn't really. So I'm still kind of playing a little bit of catch up with it. I mean, it seems really crazy, this video. There's a young woman who goes, I can't even call them friends. I call them travel companions.
Right.
To Mexico with some travel companions. And she was involved. We see a video after she died, the day after she arrived, but we see a video that emerged where she was being beaten by another female who was in her group. And
Deja Jackson was the name that was released in the warrant.
Yeah.
Deja.
Yeah. So then there was an autopsy conducted in Mexico, another one conducted in the U.S. These autopsies are conflicting, and now the U.S. Department of Justice is saying that there's not enough evidence to pursue a conviction. So we are going to interview a pathologist in the next week. We also have a law professor who is very knowledgeable about treaties formally work for the Department of Justice on how extradition treaties can work and that sort of thing. So we're digging in.
Well, I'm so thankful you are, because I just, it's just not right, you know, that.
Well, interviewing her dad was honestly, because was the hardest interview I've done. When you don't really know somebody and you're hearing these, I mean, he got choked up. He got like, it was hard. It was the hardest interview I've ever done.
Which is saying a lot. Saying a lot. Yeah, because that was his only child.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think you have to, my husband and I, Thomas and I were watching the news tonight, and that story came on about the rock that went through the young woman's windshield this past week, last Wednesday. And 7 cars, rocks were thrown at 7 cars. And
where is this? I didn't even hear about this.
So this was in Colorado, Jefferson County, and in the manner of, in 45 minutes, 7 rocks were thrown over overpasses, or there could have been more rocks, but 7 cars were hit by rocks. And this 20-year-old who was on the phone with a friend, suddenly the phone went dark, and this, 5-pound rock had been thrown over, hit her windshield and killed her. And they have not identified who did this. And my husband said exactly, I talked about it on a live video the other morning, which I was like, I know this is weird, but he said the same thing I did. What if that was your daughter? And I think that's what drives you and I to want to talk about this stuff. Shanquella Robinson, like, what if that was our child? And it's like, I would hope someone would be talking for me.
Yeah. So. I mean, he is such a man of faith that was the biggest thing that struck me with interviewing him, because if it was me, I'd be like, get it.
Right.
Man of faith that he just believes that God is going to work in his own way to find justice for this.
Right.
It was heartbreaking. And the fact that he was so patient, like he's not even like, I think I would be angry. He's not angry.
Wow. Huh. Does he, I think my struggle with it is like, we know the name Deja.
You cut out for a second. You know Dejanay Jackson and what?
Yeah, like, I think if I were her parents, I would be like, I'm going to haul my butt up to Pennsylvania or wherever Dejanay Jackson is hiding out, and I'm going to camp out on their street corner.
Well, they're doing it the right way. They really are.
Yeah.
I mean, they are going through law enforcement. They're holding rallies and doing, speaking to the media. They're doing all the things. I mean, yeah, I know everyone feel like I would like to just go up there and, get this person who did these horrible things to my child and have justice in my own way, but they're doing it the right way through the proper channels.
Well, and I think what we owe them is media attention and discussion, and not letting this case die out. I don't know. It does not make any sense to me that there is a video of her being beaten to death and that we're told that there's not enough evidence, or that the autopsy doesn't match. I mean, that is, if that were anybody else's, if that were, let's say Joe Biden's granddaughter, do you think that would have happened? No.
I mean, I think the discussion of, people of color not having the same attention to their cases is really a very important discussion that we need to have just in general in our country and probably around the world.
Right. Or people of importance, though, because, it's interesting when the group of Africans went to Mexico in their car, they were kidnapped and a couple were killed.
Yeah, they're from my husband's hometown. The woman who went to get a tummy tuck in Mexico, and they thought they were members of a cartel or something along those lines.
But I thought it was interesting how quickly rewards were given, and that they have that solved super fast. I thought that was interesting.
Well, but the difference there is they weren't all U.S. citizens that were accused of these crimes. You know what I mean? It was Mexican nationals against U.S. citizens. So I think that's the difference I see. I don't know if that's.
Yeah. You're right. Well, I think what it does is it sends a message to, you can just go over to another country and do something to somebody and go on about your business. Come home and do whatever you feel like.
Yeah. I mean, these are I spoke with a law professor, and actually my dad, who does international law, is going to come on too, just about some of these things and how it works, because one of the things that is a little bit different in the Mexican justice system versus ours is, in Mexico, you're presumed guilty until proven innocent, opposite of ours.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those are some of the things we're going to talk about. Again, I don't know exactly how it's like. If any of these people have ever listened to our podcast, we love to have, we know nothing. We claim to be experts at nothing, but we like to bring people on who are experts.
Well, tell them your podcast again. I tagged it in there, but it's always good for them to hear it from you and where it is.
So we're transitioning into just the impact of influence name. We were Murdoch. We started off as impact of influence, but then we changed because we had to put Murdoch in the name because of just the media attention, to Murdoch Family Murders Impact of Influence. And now we're hoping to do kind of a global impact of influence and cover just different things. But right now we're really focused on the Shanquella Robinson case.
Okay, great. And when are you going to change that name officially, like in your...
Oh, it is. It's already there. We're trying.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So if you go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can still find us by searching Murdoch, but we have, we're going to put Murdoch under season 1. So if you could care less about the next case, you can just still find Murdoch stuff on season 1.
Got it.
Season 2 will be Shanquella Robinson.
Okay.
And so it will be updated, but we'll still be doing kind of both. Great.
And has your Facebook name been changed too?
We have not changed that yet. We're also working on our website.
It's a lot.
These are not our full-time jobs. So we get things done when we can.
Yeah. Yes. Me understand this. I paid someone to redo my website and then promptly forgot who I paid to do it. And so a year later, I figure it out because it hasn't been done. And I send the person a message. I mean, I dug deep in the emails. The person has been like blackballed from the site where I found them for like not doing work. So like my whole website just poof, it's gone.
Oh no.
So I get it.
Well, we're gonna make all that happen. I think I'm just trying to figure out like the business end of it, because we have, pretty decent amount of followers on our Facebook page, which we would like to just do impact of influence. Maybe we'll do updates, and if they don't care about other things we do, they can just tune into Murdoch, or they don't care about Murdoch and they care about what we do next, then they could just ignore that. We don't know. I think that's the direction we're going.
Perfect. Well, I am thrilled and always thrilled to have you on.
Well, thank you for having me, and let's talk soon.
Yes. Okay. See you later. Thanks.
Good night.
Bye.